Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while, but I've got this theory going on that if I make videos, I get views. If I don't make videos, I get subscribers. And it's kind of true, apparently. I don't know. If I make videos, I won't get subscribers, but if I don't, I will. I don't know. I don't even really care about the number, though, obviously, because, like, it's pretty small. But anyway, we're going to be jumping into Kharak Cup number 10 right here. And this was a really small tournament. I'm not gonna lie, quite small indeed. We had Shrike playing as Conef and what the heck? I'll get into that in a second. But we only had 5 contestants this time. So we decided, like last time we had only 5, we went into a qualifier and then into the elimination brackets, but it was kind of weird. It was like, why even have a qualifier if only one person gets eliminated anyway? So we just went ahead and did an uneven bracket here. So this is the only game of the quarterfinals, and then we'll jump into the semis. Gonna be between Shrike and BlueBoo right here. So Shrike playing as the Conef. Now see, I would imagine this should go 2-0 to Shrike. That just seems to be how things have gone in the past. But he's playing as Conef, gonna really mix things up here. Normally he's either Coalition or Sovan. And then Blue, I think, normally plays as Conef himself, but this time he's gonna be playing as Galzian, and those are really cool colors actually. I don't know if we've actually seen that before. Cause I mean he's on the Conef, like, how do you paint this thing carrier? MS Paint 3.0. Anyway. So that's gonna be going on. So Shrike moving out immediately with the base runner and the blast runners are here, but he should get caught out by Blue's production cruiser with the sand skimmers coming out here in the middle. He sees them already with that probe. I mean, when you see 2 blast drones together, you know exactly what's happening. And Shrike does know that he's been spotted here now, so he saw that base runner there inside the. Oh dear, you wanna be doing something about this. So, I mean, this is obviously something that you can't just let happen, right? You need to go deal with it. Blue perhaps didn't see it, but I mean, he was in sensors for a long time. Maybe he just doesn't realize quite the significance of 2 blast drones like that, but we know, of course, it's gonna be like this. And they stopped for a second. Boom. So there goes 3 salvagers. That's obviously pretty heinous losses this early on in the game, especially. This blast drone here, trying to catch one of these guys, is actually going to get him eventually, so that one trades efficiently even. And yeah, this doesn't look good for Blue at all. Soul Chip Fabrication coming out for Shrike as well. This base runner probably going to grab that artifact, but I mean, like, it's... Well, it might actually get out with the smoke and everything, especially if the blast drone hit. Like, this next blast drone is pretty good, but maybe it'll just sit here and do nothing. Curious. It is going to be pretty good. Now he's got the artifact. He's going to pop smoke even though he's not getting shot at. I wouldn't agree with that, but that's alright. Just kind of run away with it. But I mean, like, what has Shrike lost to do this? Like, nothing at all, right? And he's actually... No, he's not on refinery mode. If he was, that would be just, like, absolutely redonkulous. But how many are mining right here? Is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. So... Yeah, I mean, make no mistake, Blue is very far behind here. He's actually made a second base runner, which is an interesting idea. But, yeah, and he's going to deny the artifact for Shrike here. Shrike tries to make another blast drone. That was a little silly, because it does, of course, cost you money to do that, even if it doesn't come out. And there was no way that was going to last that long. I don't know, I think with 2 base runners out here, I mean, he's going to get 2 artifacts, that'll be nice, but he's going to have to use them immediately on the defense, right, with, like, these assault chips here. He's definitely pretty far behind here, just from that blast drone hit alone. Power Reserve 1 comes out for Shrike, I think because he's worried about getting attacked now by the sand. Yeah, that actually does make some sense. I was thinking it was weird at first, but that does actually... That's not a bad move. And this is obviously where Blue is going to want to attack now. Shrike should see that momentarily. Probably going to move this assault chip back over the hill. He's got one right here as well, though, to help. So maybe we'll see a salvager go down here, but... Shouldn't be much lost. Although, this is something I wish wouldn't happen, actually. You see how he hasn't fired a single shot yet? It's because he's getting blocked, actually, by the wreckage here. And because Galzian units have, like, fixed orientation shooting, if they're getting blocked by anything, they think that they are not pointing in the right direction and they won't shoot. Which is pretty unfortunate. That actually lost me one of the maps against Sparrow in the... I think it was number 8. I think it was Kharak Cup number 8. But yeah, like, just because of that, for just like half a second, my railguns weren't firing and I lost, like, the entire game for that. So, That'll get you. Although interestingly, Blue chose to. Well, I shouldn't say interestingly. It was sand skimmers against the soul chips, but he does choose to back away. So not gonna get punished really for that. Is Shrike. Maybe he could have lost the salvager, but nothing really big gonna happen. Refiner mode is finished for him now, as well as interceptors coming out on the way. Power reserve coming out for Blue. Don't really agree with this myself. Maybe he has some ideas of going for like a carrier rush, which would be pretty interesting. But if you're the aggressor, you have no need for power reserve 1. I would say that. And if you scored 2 artifacts, you definitely don't. So, and he's going to be going for a production cruiser as well as refinery mode. I would have made this after, I think, but he is expanding. So I mean, he's not like out of this yet, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. And then we waited for a little bit. I do like the position of the assault ships actually, just to hold off the third. But in reality, there's no one even on the second. So and the sand skimmers are going to go for it, rather beklumped. Is that a word? I don't know. But they're all going to die. Oof. Ouch. Like, this is the problem with StrikeCraft against the Soul Chips in general, but especially if you clump them up like that, which I think happened because he was moving, like, in this direction, and then he turned to move that way when they were still over here, so they, like, collapsed on top of each other. That'll get you. And Blue is going to get railgun fabrication now, which is good. That's what he needs here, but much too late, I would say. Now, Shrike hasn't exactly been the most proactive with his units either. I would definitely be out there, you know, trying to do damage if I were him, rather than having 4 of these guys back at home. And really, he should be on 3 bases too if he's going to expand like this. Like, he's got another production cruiser out, but he's doing fine. I mean, that one blast run hit from the beginning ought to carry him basically to victory right here. You can see his soldiers getting stuck on that wreck just a little bit longer there. That's alright. So clearing out some sorry, what are they called? Scanners, yeah. Clearing out some scanners now as he comes across the middle of the map. It's obviously always a good thing to do. 2 base runners are still up actually, but again, like, what have they really gotten for him? I think with the time that Blue had map control, which he shouldn't have ever had it, by the way, but for the time that he did have map control, he could have gotten them out with 1 base runner anyway. It probably didn't really matter. I don't know. He's also not powered up as carrier, but I mean, like, these things would die really fast if he had like 2 power and weapons, 2 in range. Yeah. And now he's got a heavy rail out. 2, in fact. So clean that up, that's fine. Still though, once again, like, where is he right now? Not in a good place. You can see his opponent's got quite a lot of air, and like, rails are the natural choice against the soul chips, but air does very well against them for like, definitely for a short time. Like, if you move out across the map with your railguns, suddenly the air will come and clean them all up. But even in this position where there are base runners and production cruisers at home which do have anti-air, it's fairly soft enough that if you micro the air properly, you can take out the rails. So in fact, I think if I were Shrike, I would try to do that. Just say, well, I've got these guys on your doorsteps. Let's see if maybe I can get a view of those salvagers by taking out the railguns real quickly. Because otherwise, the air is just sort of sitting there, waiting for your opponent to do something. I don't even know what really. Oh, looks like the assault ships kind of have gotten into position anyway. Yeah, they're going to be able to do some damage here. The other thing that air units can do, by the way, these guys have anti-air, but the carrier doesn't, so I mean, you can be killing salvagers with the air units too. And yeah, that was a very, very good poke right there. Blue just kind of had all these guys bunched together. They moved out on this side. There's a line of sight blocker now. I was able to just pick off 2 salvagers. Didn't even lose the assault ships. They're still here, ready to be annoying once again if he gets the opportunity, so that's really good. I did notice, by the way, Con of Siege getting researched here, so that's on the way now. This is a problem for Shrike. He does need to stop this, but he's got definitely the tools to do it. He has all these sand skimmers here, outnumbers his opponent. And there's barely an upgrade difference at all. So even if it came to a sand skimmer war, definitely Shrike would win right here. I would say that's got to be what he goes after, is these base runners. Yeah, I mean, I don't see what else he would do. There you go. There is base runner heal potentially here. But no, he's not even going to be in position for it, really. It would get Shrike's sand skimmers as well. If I were Shrike, though, I would attack these guys first. Yep, there you go. He's going to do that. And these three came in sort of on their own, so they're going to get killed. Oh. Well, you know, you get the idea anyway. Air units are going to get launched as well, and that should clean this up pretty well. And that is still technically a surprise for Blue. I say technically because I think you would kind of see it coming, but I don't know. And of course, Interceptor's not very good against Sand Skimmers, but Sand Skimmers do nothing against Interceptors. They haven't gotten any anti-air, so that's a fight that you can definitely take. Both base runners going to go down. No air units lost, obviously. And now this assault ship here actually pretty vulnerable. I love that these guys aren't making any noise, by the way. They're suppressed. I don't know. I feel like there was perhaps a little window that thing could maybe have been taken out. But anyway, there's a siege cruiser coming up here. A bunch of sand skimmers, yeah, it could probably run in and... Well, I don't know, the carrier's pretty powered up. I mean, you don't want to run underneath a powered up carrier because with, like, strike craft, you can take a lot of losses that way. I don't know, it's hard to say. So he's getting the range upgrade for the siege cruiser, that obviously makes a lot of sense. And he's making a base burner, I like that too. Because I think the only way you're behind in this game right now is just by artifacts, so you know, might as well. And Blue's getting anti-air, he kind of has to, right? Now you can use this against the sand skimmers, obviously, but not unsupported. He needs a big sand skimmer force too. It just seems like there's too much stuff for Blue to try to respond to, and that's what'll happen when you're on 3 bases. But again, Shrike being very not very proactive here. He's like he's got the advantage, but he's just sort of sitting on it. He's not really doing much with it. And Blue could honestly have been on 3 bases for a while now. I think there was ample time here, really, for Blue to kind of come back, which I don't really like to see. I feel like, yeah, I feel like Shrike could do a little better that way. I love that scanner, though. Look at that. Wow. Gonna see the siege cruiser and not gonna get hit by it at all. I mean, that's good positioning. I didn't even realize that there was a hill there. You know, you can't see it from the map, so. I like that a lot. What is being made here? A salvager? Could this go down, perhaps? I think it could. There's not really anything to defend it, is there? Carrier can try to get involved, but it doesn't seem likely. It hasn't moved at all yet. And then missile ship doing a barrage is going to be tricky when the sand skimmers are already circling. It's difficult to... Yeah, I think he's going to probably lose a production cruiser right here. Barrage comes down on the salvagers too. Now, when seeing this barrage, I would actually move the railguns in. Maybe it's just like that's your only chance, perhaps. No, don't. No. You can lose all of those guys, but it's worth it to kill that production cruiser. I would have definitely stayed in there if I were him. Anyhow, when you see a siege cruiser barraging, like maybe I would have moved my railguns in actually and seen if I could maybe take it out. Because it gives you its position quite directly. Oh, the friendly fire here is going to be pretty bad, actually. Yeah, I think the siege cruiser did more damage than it got value. But that's interesting. You can't actually disable the direct fire ability for the siege cruiser, can you? I didn't realize that until now. Okay, base runner's out. Definitely wants to get extracting, but at his leisure, I suppose. Kind of decent barrage here. Definitely going to slow down his opponent if he wanted to push out at that moment, but not going to find kills here, I wouldn't think. Still going to get some damage on the heavy railguns, but they'll heal that back. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in some ways Shrike's positioning with the assault ships is great, but in other ways he's not really doing much with them, right? Just sort of keeping his opponent guarding this area. I think this would be really good if there was this the whole time. And now there is, which is awesome. But I mean, his opponent really could have been on 3 bases for, you know, some time here now is the thing. So I feel like that siege cruiser just completely missed. What is he shooting at? He's not doing well. Uh-oh. Look, man, many have tried. It never works. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you don't want to take that fight. Con of Siege is like... It's a little good against Strikecraft. And indeed, they're going to run after the assault ships now. Look at the clumpage. Ooh, if I were Shrike, I would be on that. Oh, man. That would have been nasty. They're coming in again. You have to do it. You have to do. No. Oh. Okay, one of them's gonna target them. Oh, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Okay, and now there's 3 base runners out. I like this. I'm not sure why they weren't extracting earlier, but it's fine. They are now. As well as power reserves coming out for the cruise missile, I gotta assume. And there's still air, mind you. Obviously, he hasn't had a chance to use it over here, but that definitely restricts Blue's ability to leave his base. Yeah, I mean, it looks like this is really just, this is Shrike's game, but he's taking it, excuse me, he's taking it very, very, very slowly, so. I think he really did give Blue some time to come back there, in fact, but it wasn't taken, and at this point, I mean, it should be a wash, right? Yeah, cruise missile's getting powered up now. Excuse me. And Honor Guard cruiser fabrication coming out, but what does that really do for you? This is a really good tech when you're up against like blobs or something, right? But there's not really blobs of anything here. Now this is what I was talking about earlier, how I think he could have taken out the siege cruiser, and he will eventually. One artifact goes down now for Shrike. One thing you'll learn about Con Siege if you're like a 3v3 player and you try to use them in 1v1 is that they're still very strong, but they can never be used the same way, really. Because in 3v3s you have so much time that you can like mass up this huge like blob of like 20 Con Siege cruisers or something. You can't do that in 1v1 really. Okay, now if I were Shrike, I would definitely power down the mobility, power up the missiles, and you can just kill this carrier. I mean, it's like easy, easy. Because he's got level 5 missiles right now if he wants them. Please, please, my friend, please! You must power this up! No, don't let his carrier get on top of you, oh my gosh. This is like the only way that Shrike could potentially lose this game. I feel like he's kind of doing it. So, if you're Blue right now, you get your carrier on top of your opponent. That's got to be the move here. Oh, don't get cruise missiles. That's not good. You gotta move this way. In fact, I would maybe even put more power into speed, like take 2 off healing and put it in speed there. And the reason, of course, is because these things have a minimum range, right? I don't know, it looks like Blue has already kind of thrown it, so... Oh, and there's air units too, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, okay, so Blue is definitely going to die right here. Honestly, I think he was in a position to win. Just right there, because his opponent didn't power up the... Like, he left his carrier in the front line with nothing to spot for it, and he didn't power up the missiles really fast enough. I think maybe Blue could even have just won right there, but he didn't go for it though, so that's fine. That'll happen when you're Con F. That's a big problem, because this carrier is really, really deadly for anything in a range, like starting from here or something, you know what I mean? But it can't shoot missiles that close, so... How curious. How curious. But let's just move on to the next game. Huh? In fact, I should put that into the folder there. I think that was a game that Shrike won right in the beginning, and then almost... like, he gave his opponent time to win it back, you know what I mean? I'm not really particularly impressed by it, but it'll work, you know? Sometimes that's all you care about. Yeah, look at the economic disparity there, it's crazy. It's gonna be Kalash Teeth, his map too. This is Blue's pick, by the way. Yeah, that's correct. So he should know about these blast drones by now. I don't think we should see Shrike get away with that again. Because that's the kind of thing that, like, if it's used on you once, you're not gonna let it happen again. Ideally, anyway. Yeah, the spawns are pretty different on Kalash Teeth, actually, as far as, like, the natural goes. One of them has this, like, hill up on it. The other one not the natural, the main, sorry. The other one's got all these dunes here where you can hide in, which makes things pretty interesting. I'd say... Actually, okay, yeah, so for a normal blast drone rush, you wouldn't want to... Yeah, I think either spawn would be fine, but if you want to keep the base runner there and be super annoying, like we've seen Hottest Man do recently. I don't know if you saw that, but like A-Game was playing against Discar on his stream, trying out that build and seeing if there's a way to counter it, and they're like, there wasn't. Yeah, this spawn here is like even better for it. Because then, you know, you can just hide in one of these dunes here and make blast drones to your heart's content. It's not really anything your opponent can do about it. Anyhow, uh-oh, Blue is moving off here on the other side, though, and he's making sand skimmers. He's got a scanner here, too. I mean, that's not a bad position for the scanner, obviously, although I probably would have put it, like, right there. But he's not going to see the base runner, and really, like, this having happened to him last game, I'm kind of amazed he's not, you know, expecting it here. Oh, dear. Oh dear, we are in trouble. Nearly killed all 6 of them. That would have been ridiculous. There's only RU salvagers left now. Ouch. And then look, yeah, once again he's just sitting here. This is like you need, yeah, there you go. You need to move in immediately if you're gonna do this kind of opener. So one salvager goes down already. That's pretty good pickings. Obviously not as good as the blast drones did, but you know, it's not bad. Is Shrike making more of these by the... Oh no. I mean, you can't let this kind of thing happen to you, you know what I mean? But yeah, also you can't stay in front of the carrier here. Really, this kind of an aggression build is only good for holding him off the second, because if you stay under the carrier, you'll take more losses here, right? You can see that happening now. Especially against Conf, because their range is free, right? It's not very good, but it's free. And so in the early game, that's actually quite good for them. Double blast drone is out, and they're just gonna move in right again. Oh no. Oh no! I mean, if I had to guess who would win this game, it'd be my boy Shrike. I mean, just look at this. It's gonna happen again now. Although, no. Okay, well that's pretty fortunate for Blue, but that shouldn't have happened. Yeah, I mean, all 4 of these guys, or there are 5 now, all 5 of them should have just died right there, but that's pretty lucky for BlueBoo, but yeah, I mean, really, he knows how this is happening. He really should just stop it. But why am I spamming the arrow keys here? I don't know. Been playing too much Homeworld Classic, that's why. Why do I do it in that game, though? I really don't know. Also, you can just extract here, but I'm sure he'll get around to that eventually. So the Sand Skimmer Slug war continues over here, but Railgun Fabrication now finished for Shrike. Moving again in toward his opponent's carrier, which I don't really like. Artifact is scored now, and I would, yeah, just put it into the weapons there, and these guys have to leave, and they can't stay here. But they're going to. And in fact, Power Reserve 1 was researched for Shrike, but I think that's the move that you make when you're about to get invaded in your main. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to take a lot of damage here. I just need to find some way to mitigate it as fast as possible. Okay, well then get Power Reserve 1, but in this case he clearly doesn't need it. I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I'm just looking at this production cruiser. It's really an interesting design. Although, one thing that I kind of wonder about is like, where does the thing get built? Like in there? Because I feel like this stretches all the way to the back. I noticed this of the Kushan carrier in Homeworld 1 too recently as I was playing. It's like, this is where it comes out of. Like, where does it actually get built? I feel like there's no room for it anywhere. Anyway, Assault Railgun definitely going to do a good job holding the Sand Skimmers off. Once he gets some numbers there too, it's just there's going to be no way that the Sand Skimmers can find any value in that area. Sorry, this game is just so cool. I haven't been on it for a little bit, you know. I just that was probably only one. No, that was two. Ah, blue. Look, when your opponent is Conef, you find the base runner. That's like playing against Conef. Yeah, things like to-do list. Number 1, find the base runner. You always got to find the base runner. Back away. That you always got to back away. That's just for assault railguns, but. But yeah, see, assault railguns are very, very hard counter to strike craft when you have enough numbers. This is never really going to go well for blue, I don't think. He's trying to hold his opponent off in a second, which is not a bad move, right? It's just he can't do it. But, oh, well, I mean, maybe if his opponent stays still here, but... Oh, and you know what? There is actually an armored unit here, so he's going to have to move back with this production cruiser. Yeah, and he's actually gotten up on top of this assault railgun here. I'm sort of amazed. Again, this really shouldn't happen. If Shrike just backs away, his carrier has got so much power on it right now. And even without any power, it's honestly pretty good at this kind of stuff. You can just kite until you're back to the carrier and then come back. But yeah, amazingly, blue actually going to find some value here. And why hasn't Shrike made another production cruiser, by the way? He still hasn't gotten fleet capacity 45. What? That's actually almost unbelievable. 2 more blast drones are out, by the way. Go hit his eco again if he's going to stay here. And he can extract another artifact, but this is something you should click on eventually, I suppose. Well, I mean, he hasn't really needed to yet. Go, go, go. Your time is short on this earth. This Kharak. Well, I mean, I guess he can blow up all of his opponent's sand skimmers here, can't he? Yep. Ooh. Oh no, he's got armor actually. Alright, so that's fine. That's fine. And actually, there's quite a few assault ships up here now. But, I mean, assault railguns are a very good counter to it, though, and they've also got dart maneuver. I noticed from researching that. Hope we get to see him use it. That's a really fun tech. It doesn't get used very often, though. Yeah, see, this is a good time to use it. This is a good time to use it, I said. Oh. Yeah, I definitely could have saved that guy from dying there, but... I mean, he's got refinery mode. Like, why not just put the production cruiser here and just move the carrier out there? I think that would be fine. Yeah, and this is another good time to use the dart maneuver. For those of you who don't know, you press D and then you press somewhere on the map and your guy just goes like, gets there almost immediately, so... Actually, oh, that cruise missile landed, huh? Cool. Doesn't usually happen when you're this close to them. I don't know, I feel like Shrike has got the perfect unit composition here, and yet he's still somehow not managing to repel his opponent properly. And then blue is going to get railgun fabrication and maybe get heavy railguns here, which make things really difficult for him. I can't believe it. He should have like 2 more production cruisers at this point. At which point you can just make enough sand skimmers to bully these guys off, and then the assault railguns take out the assault ships and you're good. But I don't know, amazingly he still has not gotten rid of this little expeditionary force here, and this is small, like, make no mistake. I don't know, normally I guess I would fault blue for staying here for so long, but it's kind of working, so can't really say that, can you? Has he got... Yeah, he's got all the upgrades except for damage on the sand skimmers now. Another good time to use the dart maneuver here, back away, but yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, you see how speedy they are? I think they're actually faster than the sand skimmers temporarily when you do that. 4th artifact on the way now for Shrike. This still looks good for him, but I can see in my mind now exactly how he's going to lose if he doesn't do anything. EMP rounds? You're crazy. Wow. You know, I haven't really seen that used at all. Okay, yep. See, this is exactly what I was imagining, though. Yeah, this should never have happened. But at this point, it's actually kind of kind of precarious for Shrike. This is very fortunate for him. At this point, he's got to realize, like, I need to do something here. It's a production cruiser. I mean, look how many CUs he's got here. He definitely has the money for it. You just buy enough time, honestly, to get another artifact out, he'll win. Just get another production cruiser so you can outproduce your opponent. Amazingly, his economy is actually behind his opponents right now. And refinery mode is finished for blue? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. How has this been allowed to happen? Dart maneuver is used there, but it's not quite fast enough. Actually, an assault ship comes out now for Shrike. But you're not usually going to want to try to match your opponent with a unit type that he has more of than you. And the army actually goes down now for Shrike. It's all gone. It's almost unbelievable. How? Yeah, blue is going to win this game, actually, as long as he's careful to stop the Space Runner from extracting again. That doesn't even seem possible. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Shrike, my boy. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't believe it. Now, there is still a way for Shrike to win, obviously, with the Space Runner, but it does look like blue is going to be cognizant of that. He's going to stop it. And yeah, at this point, he's basically ahead in every metric, so... Except the artifacts, I suppose that's true. No! No, get back there! This would be the throw of the century, man. You can't do it. No, don't do it. Cruise missiles are pretty good, and like I talked about earlier, this wreck for some reason is stopping the railguns from firing, so... Okay, he is going to stop the artifact, that's good. And actually now Blue's Space Marine can take it, because Shrike is pretty slow to grab that one too. And yeah, he should be winning this one, although he's... Oh wow, that was a pretty good shot right there. You know that one character in the Peanuts? Like the guy, oh, what's his name now? He's always dirty, like Pigpen, yeah? There's like literally just always dirt like coming off of him. I feel like that's the Con F. You know? Like it's everywhere they go. It's just like grime. You know what I mean? Don't you think so? Even like the explosion from their missiles just kicks up all this like black looking like blech. I don't even know what it is. Well, blue not exactly handling this engagement particularly well, but that's sort of okay for him. He's going to be on 3 bases here now. Shrike has gotten refinery mode, obviously, but hasn't been mining off of 2 bases for many moons. So, third artifact goes down for blue now. If I were Shrike, I would try to extract another one, because it seems like you've gotten away with that so much already. That's probably not a bad... Probably not bad odds he'd be able to get another one out. Power 2 is on the way though, and again, I just have to ask, like, why? What does this really get him? Obviously the right move here is a production cruiser. It has been for some time now. And for blue, what's the right move? Probably just, actually, siege would be pretty good, because it's this map. This map is just, like, really good for siege in general, but... Yeah, just, like, mass railguns from all of the... from all the production cruisers, and then run in there and kill them. I mean, you almost had them already. Just do that again, but with, you know, all these production cruisers making railguns instead. And in fact, he can get his carrier involved too. Always want to be careful about that. It's kind of like the easiest way for you to lose somehow. But there is a base runner getting made here actually now for Shrike. That's good. Fourth artifact goes down now for blue. The artifact that has spawned is really far away, so probably he wants to just go for this middle one. But because once you pick up the game-winning artifact, your opponent's kind of like, I should stop this. Like, it kind of helps them, like, realize, like, oh yeah, I probably need to get this. So you don't want to cover that much ground. Probably going for that one's better. The float on both players is quite high. Like Shrike, wow. He's been floating so many Cus this whole game, though. A production cruiser! Yes! Praise Sajuk. Praise the manufacturer. That's kind of my favorite. That's my favorite funny line. Of that kind. Little novice Padak, show us what you got here. Oh, not bad. This guy, he's like, I got this. No, you don't got this, man. Oh, and we got kind of a race for the artifact going on here now. But obviously, well, yeah, okay, Shrike's gonna lose now. But I mean, that's probably not ill-advised, huh? I mean, if he had gone for this, he would have just lost the base runner. Maybe he could have smoked out and grabbed it and then popped back in. I think he was gonna get there first. Powers are 3 again on the way. I don't know really what the point of this is. It's obviously not bad to get like the cruise missiles, I suppose, but if you're dealing with this many railguns, your opponent can pretty easily split them. And this this backstab here is going to be, it's kind of like a side stab, I guess. I mean, that's the back. This is going to be rather effective. Both railguns obviously going to go down, but I think he's going to get a production cruiser off of this. The army's going to come out this way, so that's definitely kind of like an all-in type of move. I would just go for the production cruiser. I think you've got that. Not too much difficulty. But as is often the case in these types of like army trade scenarios, the guy who did it first is usually ahead, right? I mean, he's had time to react. Fill up the gap caused by not having any sand skimmers here, so he's got assault chips in the area. Railguns has taken out these assault chips without too much difficulty. The base runner is obviously going to follow. And now he's got his eyes on that carrier. And this is going to be a lot of railguns, more than we saw last time. Cruise missiles are pretty heavily powered up, of course. But if you split up these railguns and just keep them moving around, it's really hard for your opponent to get good hits on them. And the eco is getting cleansed. Oh dear. He's just gonna take out the production cruiser first. Why not? I mean, he's got the time, right? And he certainly does. Carrier's starting to take damage here now, but I mean, that's pretty irrelevant. Like, the eco is gone. There's no way. Base runner should probably go for the extraction too, just because why not? And that has got to be game. There's just no way that this can continue on. I mean, how did Shrike lose this? I don't mean to be rude. I really don't. But this is a game that he definitely should have won here. There was not really any reason for him to lose this one. If this proves anything, I think it should be you need to make another production cruiser when you have the money for it, right? Because that extra production is going to be very important later on. I can't believe it. Well, let's just go ahead and load Game 3 into here. If I can find that real quick. And like I said, I thought this would be a 2-0 for Shrike, but I still think it's going to be... I still think it's going to go 2-1. I still think Shrike wins this, but... not as concisely as I would have hoped, and we sort of saw that in Game 1 too, in fact. Like, he was still ahead there as well, but it took him way too long to close that out. Map is going to be Shrike's pick here, and it's Tauren Crater. That makes sense if he's going to do these blast drone shenanigans. He was probably pretty happy to see Kalash get picked as well. But this is one of the best maps for blast drone nonsense. But the follow-up has just not been there. I really want to see him do better on that, no? See what I mean though about like just the Conf grime? Doesn't it look like it? Like obviously there's sand getting kicked out. That's like the same thing that the Same thing that the gal's gonna do, right? But then there's just like this black stuff like everywhere. Just like... It looks like when there's a really old car driving and it just like starts up and all this like black smoke pops out of it. By the way, this is definitely intentional, and that's kind of the idea they want you to get from them, but... Same way how like there's metal plates like missing from the production cruiser and stuff, looks very clobbered together. So I think it's funny. Whoa. Who's driving this thing? Because they totally just hit that dune. Like, sort of smashed into the middle of their ship there. I love this view of like the suspension here. That's really cool looking, you know? Well, here are the blast drones. Again, anti-Conf 101. What's the first thing you gotta do? Find the base runner, yeah? So I like the scanner position. That'll tell you if they're coming in through the front door. You can just send one skimmer over there, one skimmer over there. You can find out where he is, right? But he's gonna stay close to the base here, and that's gonna give the blast drones everything they need to come in and do their work. And this should be a bunch of dead. No, don't hit the... Oh. Oh. Yeah, so what you do there, you have to tell the blast drones to target something else, like target this unit as they run by. And that way, even if they run into them, they aren't going to blow up like that. So that's good. That's very good for Blue, and he's got a good start here, but, I mean, maybe he should... What in the heck? So... Did he do that on accident, or... I don't know. It's hard to say. No, he's keeping it hidden. He's going to get a assault ship fabrication just, like, pop in. Nice. I like it. I'm actually a fan of this. You know, I think this is the kind of thing that's like really funny. I would love to see people try it a bit more often. Should it work? No, but maybe it will here. Although, yeah, you don't want to start harvesting off that location though, unless you have refinery mode because of this, right? Yeah, so he's gonna get spotted right there. The scanner has seen him. Base runner gonna see him too. So like, if I see a salvager full of CUs over here, I'm gonna be like, I wonder what's happening over there. But. Yeah, okay, refinery mode is on the way, so he's gonna take his second base right here. He's got two blast drones here which can defend home, hopefully. But I mean, like we saw last, well, maybe I shouldn't say about last game because it didn't really go very well for him. But you know, the idea was still there. I mean, this number of sand skimmers is still not gonna be able to do anything against the carrier, so he's not gonna have to defend his main, just his second. But in this case, his second is miles away, so I really hope this works. Actually, this is hilarious. Blast drones are actually going to come in. They're going to try and do some damage here. I guess that makes sense. That's how he's been using them the whole time. Yeah, I mean, it can work, obviously. How can you say it can't? I mean, we've seen it used to great effect here so far. Refinery mode going to finish in about 5 seconds. So this number of sand skimmers will be able to take out, like, 2 salvagers maybe? They're all gonna go down though eventually. Okay, I should actually be watching the blast drones. I think that's a bit more... Oh, they're gone. On the second though, really, I'm not sure if that's the best use of them. I think the main, the salvagers are always gonna be a bit more clumped up there, but... So that's 2 salvagers down now, off the main, and they're actually going to back away, so they're not going to take too many losses, it seems. Where's he going? Does he know about the second base? Here come the assault ships. I mean, he knows about that salvager at least. This. Oh, I love this. Blue has gotten refinery mode, by the way. So he's ready to get up onto his second base. And that's one thing I gotta say he's really been improving is, like, he gets onto his second a lot faster now, which is good. Didn't see this coming, I don't think. But, again, like, you didn't see the production cruiser here. I wouldn't have suspected this at first, but you gotta think something funny like this is happening if you don't see your enemy's base at all, you know what I mean? Wow, this is hilarious. But he needs to go for the salvagers here. This is, like, clearly the intent right here has got to be the salvagers, yeah? Okay, and he's targeting them now, getting some damage done on them. Not as much not as much as you'd hope, though, and that happens, of course, because of the carrier blocking here. Like I talked about earlier, these units don't really know what to do, and they can't exactly move where they want to, so you can see how little they're shooting. But still, good damage was done there, considering there were second base salvagers killed first, and now there's only 4 left. That was actually really pretty good. And this is an attack that can continue. He still has got these assault ships right here, and this is his second base, you know, making mistakes, so. Which pretty well holds your opponent off of his third. But it looks like Blue gonna mobilize his carrier in the defense of this. Oh! Oh, goodness. Why does this keep happening to Blue that his sand skimmers are so bunched up? In fact, yeah, you definitely need to attack this. Why are these guys not shooting, though? That's a little distressing. Come on, just one more shot. Oh, no! They're at like 60. Kill it, please. For me. Oh well. Oh well, we tried. Well, the base is going to be vacated properly. So yeah, this is a very interesting start to the game. But it almost seems like, if you just take this position right here, it almost seems like Blue is ahead, doesn't it? He's ahead in artifacts here. He's got railguns against his opponent's assault ships, as well as the sand skimmer force currently out on the map, and he's on 3 bases, yeah? So, again, amazingly, it almost seems like his opponent's ahead. I think the reason is because Shrike hasn't made another production cruiser for so long, and now it's finally coming out, but... Okay, there are actually air units, and that is going to change things a bit. I would be using them immediately to take out these rails, because that's going to allow you to push back in with the assault ships there. And you know there's no AA. So, yeah, I would totally do that. Oh, Blue, where are you going with your carrier? I have a feeling I know, but I don't like it. Okay, well, second prediction... No, that's not... It's coming out soon, though. Coming soon to theaters near you. Okay, again, you see the railguns here. I would use the air against them immediately. And Blue's going to go pretty heavy into railguns here. This won him the last game. Here comes... So here's that second production cruiser coming out now. Should immediately go onto that third base location, I would think. Unless Shrike feels there's a way he can kill his opponent's carrier here, but I don't think there is, yeah? So base runner are going to get denied here, which is a good pickup now for Blue. And it looks like he just wants to use that carrier to attack his opponent here, but that's like very unsupported, like way too far forward, I think. There's air here, which actually can do a lot of damage to carriers. And then that Conf carrier, too, if it's properly kited, can really do some serious work. Like that, yeah, I mean, that's already a pretty big chunk of help. But you gotta move immediately. Oh, boy, don't just stand here. I mean, I would say, well, maybe he doesn't know that his opponent is there, but based on where he's firing the missiles, I think he knows. Yeah, he's gonna start moving now, but it's too late, right? And his opponent is already pretty much on top of him. Put the power... No, don't take it out of... Oh, no. Oh no. That's pretty much the worst thing you can do, because obviously the damage output from your opponent comes from the fact that his carrier can fire those cruise missiles, so if you can get on top of him, you don't have to worry about that at all. Yeah, and it looks like Shrike's just gonna kill his opponent right here, which is pretty silly. I mean, I think Blue is so far ahead right now. It's kind of almost like kind of amazing that he's gonna lose now, but I think the air units ought to be enough to finish him off, honestly, once like one more cruise missile hits maybe. And that's not much help right there. He might even hit him on the escape with one more. He does. So it's only 600 health left now on that thing. Oh, and there's missile chips in the main. I didn't even notice that. That's pretty well done. Interceptors are ready. You gotta launch them now, I'd say. Because there's no anti-air here, right? In fact, I'm not sure if Blue... Yeah, he's researching it right now. And see, that's why I said I didn't like the idea of moving the carrier out here, because there could also have been railguns. And normally we're watching where your carrier is, and when we see it like push out aggressive like that, and we know that you have the power reserve advantage, we're like, well, yeah, he's probably just going to try to carrier rush me here. Let me just make some railguns. So finding the unsupported con of carrier is kind of the best case scenario, and he still ended up losing here, right? Well, he's going to lose. I mean, are you docking? Are you docking? What? He's sort of toying with the idea of not killing his opponent at all here. You've got him at how much health? No, he's not gonna kill it. Oh, you're kidding. Wow. Alright, well that really shouldn't have happened, but... Okay, well, alright, so if you're Blue now, you'll be like, alright. That was funny. But now it's time to get a bunch of railguns, a lot of anti-air. You need a lot of anti-air here. He's getting missile ships, you can see him making those. And now I'll just come in and kill you, because you know your opponent really doesn't have anything except for this Air Force here. What a silly game, but... yeah, so Shrike understands now he needs to take out the base front there, although he's gonna sort of waffle around with it. Yeah, okay, there he goes. Not sure what he was waiting for, but... And he's just gonna come straight for production cruiser, and I think he gets it. Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure why there isn't any anti-air here. Maybe he made it from these two only. Oh no, you should dock now. No, I don't actually mean it. No, stop. Well, maybe he ran out of missiles, but you have more interceptors in the carrier. The exact same like situation with how you didn't kill his carrier. You can. No! I was joking! Oh my gosh, alright. So, it's a little bit of a warning, I suppose, for Blue. He'd get more anti-air. And now he should just make railguns, yeah. Actually, what is he making, though? A lot of nothing, it seems. Chancecar's here trying to take out the eco, but they're not going to get much. And a lot of them are actually attacking the carrier, which is pretty funny. And Shrike going to be getting siege cruiser fabrication now. So this is pretty cool though. He's got power reserve 5, so he can fire that missile barrage. But if you run your carrier in there again, I mean, you know what's going to happen. And there's no air coverage here at all. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, okay, so the railguns are gonna go down. You cannot move in here, please. Please. Please, no. Don't do this. Oh dear. There is one missile ship coming to deal with this, but he's not going to be there for some time, yeah? He's just going to run in there. It's on his own, but... I mean, I think we know exactly how well this is going to go. he'll get down to 2 health, and then his opponent will dock all of his fighters, and he won't actually die. But still, that's a little close for comfort, yeah? It seems perhaps this time he understands he needs to get in close, but there is actually support for the carrier now in these air units, although the missile ship is doing its job here now. Sandskimmer's trying to get involved too? Not sure what they're going to do, really. The siege cruiser fabrication is finished, one of them's on the way. That'll take a while, but it'll be out. He's gonna actually turn off the missile silos. I'm not sure if I like that. Well, yeah, I guess I do. I mean, they're not gonna get you anything done in murder. But I think in this case you're gonna rely on the damage output coming from other units, so maybe you should power up the healing. Because the kind of like weapons, you can maybe put weapon 1 on because then it gets 1 missile out. But after that, they're rubbish. So yeah, there you go. He's gonna power up the healing, it seems. Another missile barrage comes down, and I can't see where it's on actually for some reason. Oh gosh, this is actually pretty close now. But Blue has gotten far enough away now that those missiles can be powered up again against them. I think perhaps he had a chance to leave there. I would have just left. You've done enough economic disturbance to your opponent now, you can just kind of get out of there. And your opponent is so low on his carrier, he's probably going to keep the power and the healing for at least a little bit. But yeah, no, he's not going to leave, so he will get taken out here. Unless Shrike docks all his fighters again, but I don't think he will. I keep saying that as a joke. He might have actually just run out of missiles there, I don't know. But he had more fighters in the hangar that he could have deployed against it. So I mean, he should have won right there. But oh gosh, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't really the best gameplay we've seen from either of these players yet. But it was pretty entertaining. So Shrike will be the winner. He'll advance onto the semifinals. Discara is probably just gonna own him, but he'll have fun doing it. So I say he. Do I mean Shrike or Discara? You decide. But that is going to be our winner from this match. I'll go ahead and cast that probably tomorrow. Till then, I shall see you when I see you.